Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, okay, I have an interesting story for you today. Oh, but before I forget, like, comment, and subscribe, please. But yeah, you can listen for a few minutes to make sure or to see if I'm your vibe and everything. So, okay, here's what's going on. I saw the story, and yes, I just put the links in there because I want them to get full credit. So if you're going to listen to them so they can monetize and benefit from it. And also, I'm not going to be taking just bits and pieces of it, so then people can't say that I formulated my view only, or I'm showing you only what I want you to see. So anyway, there are there's a couple, they're parents of a young lady, and the young lady seemed to fail a test. And I guess it's a crucial test. And they even mentioned that she barely got admitted into college, which means she did get accepted. So I already have questions there. But with that, sorry, it's like something's in my, but okay. With that, it's like the parents were talking about how they're going to be punishing her and that they're taking all of her social media away, and how if you want to contact or if you have any concerns, it's like you can talk to them and then they will relay it back to the young lady, and how she had no place to fail. It was just, it really annoyed and frustrated me because it brought me back to my education days. And if you're new, if you haven't listened to any of my videos, just know that when I was born, I walked differently, and I had a hard time in school. And well, I'm gonna get into that more later in the video. But then I found out in my mid 30s, after a lot of medical family and just a lot of trauma, that I was born with both a physical and learning disability. And so I'm gonna talk from that perspective. And so here we go, because, okay, one, why did they put that on social media? That is so disgusting. So, just to me, I don't know, to me, that kind of shows their ego, or they they're so determined to make her feel so bad and despicable, or just revenge, or I don't know. But it reminds me of my situation because, yeah, I'm the gray sheep. And oh, hi, how are all my gray sheep doing? Where I have a perfect sister. She is of perfection. She is smart. She got almost straight A's. Majority of the time, it was straight A's. And whenever I had problems in classes, especially like things like Spanish and math, they always told me to go to her. And it never clicked, or the way that she tried to teach me never clicked, or help me, it never clicked. So then we get frustrated with each other. But here's where things get interesting, because whenever my parents would talk to family members, oh yeah, it's like, well, I mean, you guys are probably gonna find out her name later, anyways. But for right now, I'll just call her B. Well, since she always got A's, I'll call her A. I'll be B. It's like, A is doing amazing. Oh yeah, you know how smart she is. Oh, you know her report card, and oh, like later on in college, oh yeah, she's gonna be doing big things. Oh, you know how amazing she is. You know, like they would talk about her for at least 20 minutes, and like, oh yeah, she's going out of town doing this trip, and oh, she got into the robotics club, oh, she got on student congress, and just one after another. But back to me, when talking about B or me, Oh yeah, she's not doing, her report card. She's not doing much of anything. I don't think she'll ever get anywhere. Oh, huh. Yeah, she made it in college, but it's like, and the thing is, sometimes I wonder, do they know I could hear you? Do you know I could? Because sometimes I want to, like, I wasn't that dumb because I know I was gonna get the crap slapped out of me, but sometimes I just wonder, like, when you're talking just a couple rooms over or right downstairs, not too far from my room, do you know I can hear what you're saying, telling family members? Do you know how? And it's like a couple times overheard one, like, well, both of them, but one of them mainly calling me stupid. Do you know how dehumanizing, how humiliating, and how during family fish fries and barbecues, you're playing with your cousins and you go by certain family members and they're like, "Oh, I hear you're the dumb one." So how's the dumb one doing? If you're the smart one, that means you're the, guess what, dumb one. And so then I would be crying and, why are you so sensitive? Pick up your grades then. Do better in school then. Need to study better then. You need to focus. And it would just be so frustrating. And so with college and stuff, like especially high school and college, I, I, I was trying hard and also frustrated. I didn't know why I was having such a hard time. And there's one specific example. My sophomore year in high school, that's when we had to take geometry. And well, with that, I'm not great with numbers. Like, I mean basic math, I'm good. Like, once I can see the pattern of it, I'm okay, cuz I'm good with patterns. And that's one thing I kind of realized while learning how I learn. But when it comes to, and but that's one reason why, like with accounting, that's a whole different story. Because yes, it seems patterns, but trying to remember all, okay, yeah, that's a different story for another day. Because let's just say, yes, but with the first time I took geometry in sophomore year, I did not understand it. Kept going over my head, and my out. That was the same year I was trying out for pom pom, and I made it to pom pom, but my mom said that you're gonna have to quit, or she was determined for me to quit anyways because she said that was just garden hoe dancing, and she didn't want me in a like, it was basically a cheerleading outfit, and she was like, she didn't want my fat butt in a cheerleading outfit. Yeah, she said it in quite a few different ways, but um, it, I could not understand geometry. I was so confused, and I kept saying, like, the way that he's teaching it, I do not get it. And they made sure to tell our family members, "Oh, she's just not trying. She's not studying. She doesn't know what she's doing." So guess what? I kept failing. I had to drop out of pom pom, and then my mom bragged. She kept telling me, it's like that how happy she was that I had to drop out. And that, well, yeah, I'll talk about that another. I'll stay on topic because, yeah, it's kind of a complicated story. But senior year, I basically took all of the classes I had to take to graduate. So I was going to graduate. So part of me was just like, you know what? I want to take geometry again. I want to see what happens with a different teacher. Because I kept trying to tell everyone, I just don't understand this teacher. I don't understand how he's teaching. It confuses me. And no one believed me. I took it again my senior year. I was the oldest student in the class. And I remember some of the freshmen in that class were siblings with the seniors I was going to be graduating with. And so sometimes they would laugh at me and they'd be like, "You're graduating with my sister. You're in here? Oh, It's like, I know what that means. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever. It's like, just get over it. But how come throughout almost that entire school year, I got A's and B's in geometry? Even at the end of the school year, where I was in robotics club, diversity club, and a couple other clubs and or things, getting ready, applying for colleges, and then all of my other classes as well. I was able to get, I got I had like a B minus, and oh, I was kind of frustrated. I was like, no, because I felt like I could have done better, but it's like trying to all of the studying in the finals. It was a lot. Now that I know that I have a disability, I know why. But the fact that I was blamed my freshman year, they were saying how dumb I was. They were saying it's my fault. They said I wasn't focusing. They said I wasn't trying. And I was telling them, no, I don't understand him. Because that, yeah, it's like when I even asked for the teacher I had my senior year, they're like, no, it's your fault. So you need to study. Because like I kept hearing how she taught differently and she broke it down, like how she broke it down, and now I figured that's exactly how I need it. And I can't describe how he taught, but it, it never clicked. It never. I felt like an idiot in that class, and everyone made sure to make me feel like an idiot too. Yeah. Because I remember for some reason, we got pizza one night at one of the family functions in Alabama, and a family member picked up a slice. What shape is this? And I was just looking at him like, what are you talking about? And he was like, is this why you're failing geometry? Great. Great, yeah. So then, yeah, I was a little petty then, and I think I got spanked for it, or I had to do chores, or I got spanked. But I remember saying, actually, that's not an actual triangle because the crust has a curve, so that doesn't pass as a triangle. And so he got upset. They were all drinking or whatever. He went to my parents, and then I got punished. Yeah, great times. But but I think that's when the petty started developing because I was just like, huh. It's like now that I'm older, I'm just like, huh. Was that petty? Was that petty? It's like, or was I was supposed to just be a nice, innocent Christian girl and just say it was a triangle so that his ego stayed in put, but or stayed intact or whatever. But with this video that I saw, and for some reason they're trying to raise money, and I'm like, are you raising money for a tutor or just raising money to raise money, and none of it's going to her because you embarrassed her? And are you going to see if maybe she has a learning disability? I'm not saying she does, but or are you going to look at what resources there are or purchase resources for her that might be able to help her with the material? What are you going to do? Are you going to look up study groups? Are you going to look up tutors? Or I mean, even with YouTube, I remember I was getting ready for one of my classes for grad school, and I didn't understand something. Or oh, even with some of my students, when I taught in the inner city, sometimes if they have a question about math and they need something, there were some math YouTubers that were vibrant and just excited and stuff. So I would look up, I'm like, oh, okay, did they cover this? I'm like, ooh, yep. And I would play that, like, especially if it was my lunchtime. That's usually when some students would come sit, eat their lunch while watching the video. This, especially if they had a test that day, it would kind of help them, like, learn different ways to do the problem. But I'll talk about that a different day because the math teacher literally said I was trying to turn students white because I was trying to educate them. But yeah, I'm saying everything. I don't even care. But yeah, it's like social parts of social media. There are educational resources, and there may be ways that could help advise her or even motivational videos. Once I got diagnosed, and once I started trying to get my business together, and everyone's telling me I can't do it, you won't do it, you can't save the world because now you have a disability, you're nothing but a cripple, you're nothing but a black girl. I have a list of motivational, like like Will Smith and so the Superwoman. It's like, oh, she had her own talk show. I loved her talk show too. I was mad it canceled, but anyway, it's like there's like 20 different videos where it's back to back to back. Sometimes I switch it out, music motivational, and it helps keep me working on my novels, greeting cards, website, and everything. And it helps me stay in that mind track. Since her parents were so toxic, maybe she just needs something good to hear because I am surrounded by toxicity, and I realize that sometimes you need to find and create your own like breath of fresh air. And I just hope the best for her. And I hope her parents learn that this was not the way. That is embarrassing. And when she's going to remember this because, oh, as you can tell, I remember this. It hurt me. The way that they treated me with, like, especially in my 30s. I didn't find out I had a disability, and it included a learning disability until my 30s, after I was done with school. And I was debating going back for something else once I finally finish all of this, but I'm at the point where I wore my brain out. I wore myself out. And so, but thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human. And I did fail geometry and accounting in college. And I kind of want to go, there are so many professors I want to go back to who put me down for not catching on quick enough. But yeah, the accounting class, that one, I was just like, you know what? I'm defeated, whatever. But there was there was one, my linguistics class. I kept struggling in the classes with his tests, and it's like I was studying, and I was like, I know what that is, and but then with the final, how come on the final I got a B minus, but I kept failing the classes during. He passed me, but I realized like I know I learned differently. And so I'm telling that, and I'll tell the whole story a different time, but never give up and always find another way. Always look for resources. Never give up on yourself, even if everyone else is telling you that what you're not. Don't refuse it. Put your gray sheep jacket on and keep going. Head up, chin up. Find a group of people that will uplift you. Find those that will uplift you and not try to defeat you. Because no, just no. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.